NBA has labeled this Premier Week in the league, and this is the Premier Wednesday night on ESPN, and we come to you from New York City and Madison Square Garden, where the hometown New York Knicks missed the playoffs last year, but think they'll be back in the thick of it this year as they open tonight against Tracy McGrady and the Orlando Magic. I'm John Saunders, and I got to tell you, I'm privileged and have a great pleasure in sitting next to a Hall of Famer in Bill Walton. You ready?
I am ready. Let's tip it off.
We are going to have some fun tonight. Now, I mentioned Tracy McGrady. Doc Rivers, his head coach, made a bold statement saying, at one point, T-Mac may be the best player to ever play this game.
John, bold indeed. More of a challenge, I think, than a statement at this point. But for a terrific player to be the best, you've got to have top-tier teammates. And this is the best Orlando Magic team since Shaquille O'Neal played for Orlando back in the mid-1990s. Tracy McGrady, the stage is set. It's time for him to deliver an exhibition season.
We are underway, or we thought we were, but as you saw before, Orlando has owned the last 8 in this series, winning 6 of those 8.
Interesting how Kurt Thomas jumped center, even though Dikembe Mutombo at 7'2" dwarfs him physically. Don Chaney telling us that Dikembe Mutombo was just too slow to react on the jump balls.
It's Britton Johnson who dumps it down to McGrady, turns, lifts, and fires, and buries his first shot of the year.
That is Larry Bird basketball. Come out on the road on this sacred stage, Madison Square Garden, hit a jumper in the other team's star defender's face, and then you never trail.
Stuart Scott is with us tonight. Stu.
John, I got to tell you, Tracy McGrady, not only is he the captain, but a rarity in the NBA. He's actually wearing a C on his jersey, hockey style. The idea came from Orlando Magic COO John Weisbrod, who played hockey at Harvard. They did it to embrace T-Mac's leadership and to hold him accountable. Now, McGrady accepts it, realizes it's his job to say the things that need to be said. But here in this building where the most famous sports captain ever, Mark Messier, plays, T-Mac says he will not be making any kind of guarantees. He said, I did it last year, up 3-1 in the Pistons, and you see where it got me.
That's exactly right. Van Horn with a nice drive. But good point there about Mark Messier and the captainship. That is like hockey with the C on the jersey.
As we've learned over the years, guarantees aren't what they used to be.
Devalued somewhat. McGrady spins, tough shot. That wasn't going to go, and Van Horn comes up with the rebound.
Houston and McGrady guarding each other. Which one will wear down first defensively?
Houston fires no good. Thomas with the rebound. Reset. Van Horn for 3. And Keith Van Horn is off to a hot start in a Knicks uniform. McGrady now. Houston trying to guard him. Spins. Johnson. Three-pointer from the big man. Tracy McGrady is a young man. Just in his 7th year in the league, he came right out of high school. And when we come back, we're going to take a look at his place in history. And again, it's a young history, but impressive. Come on back. NBA Wednesday on ESPN. Orlando with an early 3-point lead, and they're going to try and ride that young man.
What better place than New York City to put it all in historical perspective? Players who over the course of their careers have averaged 36-5. Oscar Robertson, Wilt, the only player in the middle to do it. Jerry West did it twice, Elgin Baylor, and last year, Tracy McGrady. These are the greatest of the greats. When you talk about the guys who are the best ever players, yes, you would have to throw in Magic and Larry and Bill Russell, but really, who else? And to put Tracy McGrady in that category just shows you what kind of growth he's made. And at only 24 years of age, you can only expect that this guy is just getting started. I think was Utah's only loss, but right now they look to be more together and fluid. Nell Harvey battling on the offensive glass, a great sign.
Van Horn jacked that one up and comes back to the ball, lays it off the glass, and good.
The New York Knicks, they're going to knock those down. If you just play contained defense against New York, who's going to beat you off the dribble? Like that.
Speaking about beating people off the dribble, McGrady says, I will find a way.
But the Knicks' overpowering size right now and strength up front is giving them a commanding lead on the offensive glass. They've got 4 offensive rebounds for 7 points. With Allan Houston knocking down perimeter jumpers, it's going to create havoc for Orlando's porous defense.
McGrady again trying to make it work. Finds Howard. Strange release. McGrady taps it out to Harvey. Turns right at Doliak, and Doliak gets called for the blocking foul.
Doliak making McGrady earn everything. The previous possession, blasting right. It's the only time McGrady's been able to go right all night, and that's why Don Chaney says, force him, jump over on that right hand and turn him back the other way.
Keith Van Horn, well-traveled. As we know, drafted by Philadelphia, traded to the Nets, then traded back to Philadelphia, now traded here to New York. And this is a guy who's averaged over 17 points and 7 rebounds a game. How good can he be, Bill?
I think his limitations are more psychological and mental than physical. He's big, he's 6'10", he's extremely athletic, he's quick, can get off the floor repetitive times. But as the bigger moments come, and as the pressure really builds, when the great ones shine, where is Keith Van Horn?
Why is that? What separates the great ones who do shine at moments like that from the guys who kind of get small?
Mental training, the experiences you have as a young player coming up. And it's surprising to me because he played for one of the great teachers in Utah, Rick Majerus, a guy who has consistently put out top-level players, for a guy who has been unable, Majerus, to draw the real spectacular athletic talents. Zone defense again confusing Orlando.
Actually checked back out.
Games, I think they'll be a better team. Beautiful pass.
Van Horn, the rebound for Ron Lou. Dumps it down to McGrady.
Nice.
And McGrady was trying to find Juwan Howard, and he gets it back. Perhaps early season jitters, you know, it's the first game of the season. Haven't worked all the kinks out. Oh my goodness! McGrady follows and slams it with the left hand. Explosiveness.
This is why Doc Rivers can say with a straight face that this guy has the chance to be the greatest player ever. You don't make plays like that unless you are among the best of the best.
This is just the first game of the season, Bill. Is this a problem?
This is the first end of the first quarter, right?
Let's go to Stu Scott with Tracy McGrady.
34-34 sounds like a first quarter score, Tracy. Why do you think such a low score from both teams?
First game, jitters, and guys a little rusty out here. But we picked it up in the second half. In the second quarter. Second half, we should be better. Should have got it. Should have not got the rust off. And it's time to play ball now. But, you know, it's the first game of the season.
How can you feel good about going out in the second half when you guys shot only 34%, you scored just 11 points, and yet you're tied?
Well, I feel pretty dang good. It's tied, even score, 0-0 now. We didn't play our best ball. I didn't shoot the ball well in the first half, so come out second half and just try to do what we didn't do in the first half.
All right, Tracy, appreciate it. Good luck in the second half. You saw that C on his jersey. He is a captain. John, Bill, let's go back to you.
Yeah, and Stu, it's not actually 0-0. It just feels like it's 0-0. Kevin Frazier and the crew in the studio coming up. Shaq and Kobe's feud, LeBron, and more.